I was like insanely unmotivated, but guess we are back. So here goes the first story. Am I the asshole for telling my best friend I understood why his fiancée is so disappointed that he proposed to her at the gym? So the OP here is 27 female. I was excited when my best friend 27 male told me he had proposed to his girlfriend 29 female. He said he had the proposal on video. I was so confused when the video started out in woman's gym. When I saw his girlfriend on an exercise machine in the video, I had a bad feeling. She looked so shocked and she said yes. She only looked happy for like 2 minutes, and the rest of the time she gave an insincere smile. My best friend expressed frustration that his fiancée had confessed she wasn't happy with the proposal after he asked her why she looked so sad. He was venting to me and asked me how I feel if a guy proposed to me while I was at the gym. I guess he really expected me to agree with him, but I said I would hate it. I said I don't want to be proposed to when I'm stinky and sweaty at the gym. I basically explained to him that I understood why she was disappointed. My best friend called me shallow and a bad friend. Am I the asshole? Why would it be so hard to maybe, I don't know, propose anywhere else but the gym? Like even in like the smallest, tiniest town, there could be something that's like, more scenic, appealing to look at than a gym, no? Okay, moving on to the next one. Am I the asshole for making fun of my own fat body in front of my boyfriend's parents? So the OP here is 27 female. I was having dinner with my boyfriend Pete, 23 male, his mom Kate, 27 female, his dad Jim, 48 male, and his sister Meg, 19 female. They are a very conventionally attractive family, and I'm very overweight. It was my first time meeting the parents, and they were extremely polite, but there was this layer of awkwardness. On the spot, I thought of a way to break the ice. I said I understood why they weren't serving pork. When asked why, I said, since I'm here, there's already a greasy pig at the table. Kate was laughing so hard. Kate started making jokes about her own looks, and I made more jokes about mine. After the dinner, Pete made us leave early. In the car, he said he was very disappointed in me. He said I disrespected other plus size women, him, but most importantly, myself. Am I the asshole? I'm like 50-50 on this. I don't know why humiliating yourself would be like considered a good icebreaker, but also I don't know the type of experiences this person might have had as a plus size person. So I'm just going to keep moving. I do feel like that was not needed, but then again, you don't really know how a person is conditioned, you know? So yeah, moving on. Would I be the asshole if I don't let my roommates hire a live-in dog sitter while they're out of town for the week? My roommates, a couple, are going out of town for the week. They have 2 dogs and they want to hire someone to take care of them for the week. The problem is they want that person to sleep here and take care of them so that the dog's routine isn't disrupted. I offered to take care of them for the week, but they seemed pretty reluctant to take me up on the offer. I'm a pretty shy and introverted person, so the thought of someone I don't know living here for a week while I'm working from home doesn't sound so fun. I have offered twice, and even though they claim they don't want me to feel uncomfortable in my own home, they still seem to want to hire someone. They are pretty neurotic about their dogs, and while I'm fully confident in my ability to take care of 2 dogs, I grew up with them. I have dogs sat theirs during the day many times. I don't love the feeling of having to audition to do them a favor. To play devil's advocate against myself a little, I can see why they are reluctant. I have grown pretty tired of living with a couple, so I don't spend much time at home or in common areas anymore. I'm moving in October, so from their perspective, I'm busy and don't interact with dogs much, but generally, I'm just trying to avoid the third wheel dynamic. I'm not really interested in continuing to audition for this job. I'm willing to do, but not particularly interested in. Would I be the asshole if I say I don't want someone staying here for the week? Should I do a better job at putting their minds at ease that their dogs will in fact be fine? Not wanting a random person to stay over is like very valid. I mean, if you care so much about your dogs, maybe don't go out of town or maybe take them with you. Especially in the world we like live in. I don't think I would personally ever ask someone to live with a stranger for like a week. That's just me. So, okay, moving on to the next story. Am I the asshole for not waking up a tourist who overslept and missed the day trip she paid for? Okay, so the OP here is 21 female. I'm a Bulgarian tour guide who accompanies groups to Sicily. On a recent trip, one woman who was traveling along mid-30s was constantly oversleeping. The first day after we arrived, we had a day trip to Etna and Taormina, for which we depart at 8 a.m., as we do all other day tours. I make sure that all tourists are informed of the departure times on the bus the day before, and they also have my number to call in case they forget so I can remind them. They also all have printed out pamphlets with the schedule made by the travel agency that I hand out that has the time of departure on it. All of the group was on time except one woman. She was late by 10 minutes, which, okay, maybe she got caught up in something and was late. I excused it, then mentioned to the whole bus in the mic that I would not tolerate lateness beyond 15 minutes at most in case of emergency like a forgotten possession, and that I must always be called and informed in case someone is running late. Trip went by okay otherwise. The next day, the same tourist was late again by 25 minutes, almost an entire half an hour. I called her twice to no answer, and we were just about to leave without her when she came out running and got on the bus. She got lucky as the receptionist of the hotel asked me about a missing piece of info on the room list and earned her some time. I reminded everyone again that I will not be waiting anymore for late tourists in the morning, and waking up on time is their responsibility. When we came back that evening, she asked me if I could make sure to wake her up on time. I reminded her a third time that I'm not responsible for waking people up. Everyone gets a printed itinerary with departure times, and I announce everything the day before. She kept saying, no, just knock on my door if I'm not out by 8:15. And I kept repeating, I really cannot do that for everyone. Please set an alarm. Well, on the day we were visiting Syracuse, she didn't show up. I waited 15 minutes after a supposed departure time, called her twice to no response, then left with the bus and the rest of the group. She called me in a panic about an hour later, asking where we were. I explained the situation calmly. She got angry and said that I had one job and that I cheated her out of the money she paid to go on that day trip. She missed the whole day trip and was furious the next day. Later, she told the rest of the group that I abandoned her and also called my agency, leaving a bad review about me. Am I the asshole for not personally waking up a grown woman despite warning her multiple times I wouldn't? See, if I paid money for any trip, I'm waking up like 2 hours early. Yeah. Or maybe I will not just sleep at all. I can like feel the pain in my heart just imagining me missing a trip that I dream of, paid money for. Like I can feel it. Yeah, there's an edit. Edit. I talked to my manager today. I was nervous at first because I was already tired of this whole shenanigan. Oh my god. Shenanigan. And didn't want to spend ages defending myself. So I went to him first and explained the situation before he approached me. He told me word for word, "Han, I deleted that BS from my email as soon as I read it." Lol, an icon. They removed the bad review. Respect to the manager. Next story. I believe this one's the fifth story. Okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my mom wear white to my wedding, even though she claims it's her last chance to feel beautiful? So the OP here just turned 23. I just turned 23 and I'm getting married in October. My mom and I have always had what I would refer to as a rocky relationship, especially since I got engaged. She's been oddly competitive, commenting on my body, comparing our rings like we are in a competition, saying things like, "This is as much about me as it is about you." I honestly thought she was joking until she showed me the dress she bought. A white, floor-length gown that looks exactly like a bridal dress, and I told her flat out she cannot wear that because in my opinion, it doesn't match the occasion. She got quiet, then burst into tears, saying it's her and this was an opportunity to feel beautiful before getting old, and that I'm selfish for not letting her have this one thing. I felt really bad about this, so I offered to go shopping with her to find something elegant and more appropriate. And all of a sudden, her countenance changed, and then she told me I was controlling and ungrateful. What gave me peace was that my fiancé backed me up, as did my maid of honor. Now, my mom is threatening not to come to the wedding, and my aunt says I should just let her have this to avoid drama. I don't think I'm wrong for drawing a line here, but now part of me wonders if I am the asshole. I would ask her not to come. Nah, sorry. What is last chance to be beautiful at your daughter's wedding? Nah, love, nah. That mama is not a girl's girl, let me tell you that. And the aunt needs to shut up, respectfully. Yeah. What do you mean let her have this? What? That's just so psychotic. Next. Am I the asshole for ignoring my friend's work messages while I'm on maternity leave? I'm currently on maternity leave from my job as a social media manager at a small startup. When I went on leave, my friend actually took over my position. She only joined the company because of me. Since then, she's been messaging me constantly, every other day. It's either questions about work, venting about colleagues, or sending me the content she posts so I like or engage with it. She messages me through both the company account, which I have muted, and her personal one. On top of that, she often asks me to come over and help cooking, cleaning, walking the dog, whatever I need. It's really generous of her, but the problem is that whenever she's over, the conversation turns into work. The last time she came, she stayed for 5 hours and 80% of what we talked was about her job. I even ended up helping her do work because she was stressed, and she straight up asked me to join a meeting with her. I feel so stuck. I don't want to hurt our friendship, and I know she's just trying her best, but this is supposed to be my maternity leave. I have already had to tell other co-workers to respect my time, and she even backed me up on that, yet she doesn't seem to realize she's doing the same thing. So lately I have been just ignoring the work-related messages. She doesn't seem to get the message. I'll still reply if it's something personal, but if it's about work, I don't answer. Now I'm worried about being rude or unsupportive since she's obviously struggling and looking for reassurance. Am I the asshole for ignoring her work messages while I am on maternity leave? I would just tell her, politely of course, but I don't know. Like, she seems like a nice person, so I do believe that she would understand, maybe. Maybe kind of naive somewhere, but I think she'll understand, yeah. Next. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my girlfriend's half of dinner after she invited her whole family without telling me? So my girlfriend and I planned a casual dinner date. I booked a nice spot, just the two of us. Just the two of us. When I got there, I realized she had invited her parents, her brother, and even her cousin. I was caught off guard, but went along with it because I didn't want to make a scene. The bill comes and it's nearly $400. She looks at me expecting me to cover it all. I told her I was happy to pay for our meals, but I didn't agree to bankroll her entire family's night out. She got upset and said a real man wouldn't have hesitated, and her mom made a comment about me being cheap. I ended up paying just for me and my girlfriend, and she had to split the rest with her family. Now she's angry and says I embarrassed her. Her family thinks I'm rude. From my perspective, I was blindsided, and it wasn't fair to expect me to cover a group dinner I didn't even agree to. So, am I the asshole? How is one not embarrassed by this kind of behavior? I mean, come on now. Even the real man would pay, and that kind of shit is so corny, and the person telling them is actually the cheap one. How does one assume that their whole family and cousin is invited, or is okay to bring on a dinner date? Discussed between two people. That just seems like leeches to me. Sorry to any leech watching. I'm sorry. But I guess this is all for today. What? I think this is all for today. Just does not make sense. Whatever, bye bro. Bye bye. Ta-ta. Hoo 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 hoo.